Hi everybody, we're going to make some dirty mucky paint. Because my car's going to be a little bit green because it's got plants in it. It's got sweet corn and various fruits in it. So I'm just going to slop green over the whole lot. But I'm going to make it a dirty green. So you see I've mixed up that watery colour. And I'm going to put a little bit of red in there, complementary opposite. Ooh, more red than I really wanted, but doesn't matter. So mixing that up. We're only using water-based paint, no oil paint. Some of these are house paints. Green. Trying to make a dirty, mucky green. Where's that red gone? Put some more in. See what happens. Oh, nice mucky colour. I don't know when that red's gone down and got lumpy down the bottom, but I'm going to try a bit of this red. I want that green to be dirty and a bit dark. So let's see. One was artist quality paint. And the other one says it's artist quality paint, but it's not. It's student quality. Those paints there, these paints here are quite expensive. You can use any paints. Just it's nice to have the artist quality paints, and I'm going to use. There, that's where that red is down there. So now, mucky paint. Nice and watery, and we're going to slop it over the whole lot. So, you use the really watery paint because it goes into all the cracks. Otherwise, you're going to have all these little white bits showing if you try and paint it with block colours. You try and start with a little brush painting. It's not going to work. So paint all that mucky paint off because you want those sweet corns to come out. And some of those we're actually going to work back into with oranges and yellows, which are going to bounce quite nicely off this dirty, mucky colour. So, paint all the spots. We don't want to be seeing any white spots anywhere. And you'll find it'll dry really quickly because the clay is soaking up all the moisture. There we go. So this is how you do it. Slop it on really quick. And then so let that dry a bit. Little white spot appearing under there. Just have a look around, tip your work up and get all those bits there. With sculpture, you tip your work upside down so you can see underneath it, because a pound or a pinch of snuff, if you miss a little bit, someone's going to come along and look at your work and say, oh, are you going to paint that bit there? You know, when you paint a house and you leave little bits up near the ceiling that you just sort of miss out because you've put the ladder away, and someone comes around, you've done a beautiful painting job at your veranda or somewhere, And then people look up and they see, oh, there's that little bit you haven't painted. You're going to get up and paint that? Very annoying. So, okay, I'm going to just try a little bit of yellow now, and I'm going to be looking for the sweet corn, because that's going to, the texture's going to show up. And I only need a tiny bit. I could have actually done it. Just use a smaller brush. I'm looking for a stiff bristle brush and try that one. But you only need a tip on the brush, just like that. So, and then you just softly work it, drag it over. And see how that yellow is coming out from the sweet corn cob. And you go around with a little bit of yellow, and you find all the other little sweet corn cobs, and you see I'm just lightly brushing over it, just letting the tips of the paintbrush, and you build the paint surface up. It's not, we're not colouring in. So you lift up all the texture. There's a little bit of wet paint there, which I'm just going to avoid for the moment. And I can see little bits of corn over there and there. And I don't know, I'm not too sure whether that's grapes or corn in there. I can't remember what I was doing, but there's some here. So it's just, yeah, little bits of paint, and where the dark paint underneath brings the form of the sweet corn up. So you do, is to get the textures, and you'll do that on the tyres, and well, your mag wheels will have all those same elements in them. And I'm going to work back in with nice light greens. Oh, there's one there, so that's a nice one there. So just on the tips of the brush. And although this paint's quite expensive, you only use a little bit of it. When I work in groups, I don't leave the paints out for people to squeeze onto pallets. I walk around, I have them like a bandolier of paints, like a cowboy with a bandolier of bullets, and I just, squeeze out tiny little bits of paint for people. And it's not a matter of flooding the work, it's just a matter of skimming across the top and picking up all those lovely little bits of texture. I can see an apple there, but I might just pick up the headlights. Yeah, see the headlights here. So just the tips of the brush, and then that starts to give the car eyes. I might just go around just a little bit of green and see if we can pick up, oops, just a little bit, just a tiny little bit there. And I had a bit of white out, just a touch of white. Oh, brand new, that top needs to come off. And whenever you put white out, you never add white to a colour. If you're mixing, always add the colour to white, because if you add the white to the colour, you'll end up using a mountain of white. So this is my green, which might be for some of the leaves in there. I can see a leaf there. But yeah, going around some leaves here, and you just skim across the top, and you sort of build the texture up. But so it's gonna be a greeny car, and let's see, and then I see some more yellow sweet corn down there, but I can just skip over the top of that with a bit of the yellow. You can always paint over. A little bit of green across there, and okay, let's see what we can do. I'm just gonna there's a bit of yellow sweet corn there, bit in there, and a bit up here. And just go back into the green. Essentially going to be a green car. Okay, get that green off my brush, and I might start looking at. I'm going to use some orange fruit for the wheels. Going to put a little bit of orange out there, and again I'll get a fresh brush, and I'm going to go around and see if I can do the wheels. Just build that paint up. Get orange on. It's not quite as orange. It's more like a yellow ochre. So, but again, doesn't matter. I'll work back over. I'll get an orange and work over it. But it's just that light painting, and build it up. Give it different coloured wheels. And I'll find some orange, but you can see that paint is building up. Yeah, have a little bit of blue out there. I'm going to put the blue over here on this bit of the palette, just a tiny little bit of blue, and get another bit more white, and we'll do the windscreen. So let's see what I can do. Add the blue to the white, and we'll do the windscreen. And the windows. Just going around. Keep it nice and blue, like it's reflecting the sky. And just the tips of the brush. And I've got little windows at the back here. And windows at the side. I hope I'm keeping that in the camera shot, but I'll do a 360 with the car. Yeah, so it's a stiff bristle brush, and he's actually got quite a mean sort of look. I might just go over. Oops, too much. You can get your finger in there. And with acrylic paint, you can always paint over it. So, you can see the car's now got a face. And I can see some things in there because I had fruit for this. So I'm going to clean that brush. I've got, that's now my dirty water. And then I clean the brush. Go over the clean water, dry the brush off, and I'm going to find some red paint. Let's see what we got. Oh, there's an orange there. Let's see what I can do with that orange and do those orange wheels. Got more paint out than I'm going to use with that, just to give you an idea of how little paint you use if you use this dry brushing technique. And so let's see. Again, I'm gonna rub it back with your fingers sometimes. And there, that'll make that. Make that wheel stand out. Now let's see if I've got something that's going to equate to red of an apple. So yeah, just those paints in the tube, that are a bit thick impasto paint. And you might see an apple start to form there from the but there, that's, so you just let that paint build up. And I don't know if there's any more things there that look like an apple, but let's do the tail lights. We'll do a red one there, a red one there, and then we'll do a orange one there and a orange one there, and then we'll do a white reversing light. And I don't like that orange light much. I'm going to make it a bit yellow. Just a touch of yellow. So that's the tail lights. But you see the car's really got a face now. It's got its eyes and there's like the eyes up there as well with that windscreen. It looks quite mean, just the shape of it. And yeah, I'm still seeing corn there. Where is that? Just to bring up that texture. So yeah, so that's the dry brushing technique. You can just paint it with block colours if you if you want, you know, you can, but I'd always recommend put that dirty colour like this underneath. Oh, like you can see, it's very watery, go into all the cracks, and it'll dry very quickly because the clay will soak up all the moisture. And you see I've been handling that. There's no paint on my hands, and that's just, and you just build your paint from there. But I sort of quite like that face on it. So that's it, and I'll put this up on YouTube. Okay, thank you.